Okay, right now I'm looking at MDB. MDB. This is what it looks like on the daily. You can tell, you can see you can create a trend line right here. It's pretty expensive. So max shares would be around 600 shares. Of course, I'm not going to use max shares, just putting it in perspective. But it already went down a bit. This is what it looks like on 15. It's creating its very first, first red candle on the 15-minute after quite a while. Guess I'm a little late, but not that late. Okay, I'm going to be in a bit right here. And at 1539. Now, I've had somebody ask me yesterday about how to figure out how many shares to do. Well, the first thing I do is figure out how much max shares I can do at 100,000 buying power, which is the minimum on a day trader most of the time. So so from there, looking at the shares, it's at 150. So according to my chart, 150 means I can basically do a little over 666 shares. But then the most important thing after that, hold on one second, about to make some money here. I'm watching level 2. You can tell right here on the 1 minute, this could be a very tricky spot. Right here, or right here. $49.68. This is a tricky spot. Okay, I'm out. We're out at $49.68. Okay, what was it getting at? So first thing I do is assess the daily, and I can draw a trend line right here. This high was 152.33 on this red candle right here, and then I go into the 15 minutes to see how bad it wants to retrace, and it still has some quite a ways if I use this 90 MA, but I don't on the 15. Generally I do that on the 5s, and yeah. So from there, the most important thing after you assess it and it looks like it's good is to know how many shares you want to put in. And of course, you want to, this is short, so I'm looking at the very highs of 52.01, how it rejected that 52.01 or 152, the whole number, and then it just decided it's time to come back. Traders like to see whole numbers. So once we hit a whole number, 152, and it slightly went a little over and it gets rejected, either it's going to reject it a little bit and pop back up, or just get rejected entirely. But from what I saw here, because there's so many 15-minute candles, it's not a bad chance for it to come back. So according to my chart, and you guys seen it in my previous videos, right here, I always have this chart on me. And I know there's average, true range, and all that other stuff, but this is just what I use. It's very simple. I look at the stops right here, or right here. So how far away am I from my entry to the 152? Be basically what I'm looking at here. So let's just say I entered right here at 150. That would be a $2 stop, right? So at $2, um, if I'll, so I only have it up to $1, but at $1, if I'm willing to lose $50, I can only put in 50 shares. So at $2, just double that, and that's 100 shares. Or is that, am I doing this right? Oh no, it's the opposite, 25 shares. So basically, with the chart, I can assess if it's a $2 stop, then I can only do what was it, 100 shares if I'm going to be willing to lose $200. Generally, my hard stops are up to $500 because I can make a lot more. In this case, I did. So that's how I assess it, and it's very fluid when you get down to it. I just glance at it and I kind of have an idea of how many shares I can do. And if you mess up midways, you can always take some shares out. But yeah, the friend of mine that asked me yesterday asked or told me that he has a problem just going by instinct, and that's not always a good thing. But after a while, everything becomes instinctive, right? So you notice how quickly I got in and out because I saw $2 and then I just throw in 200 shares, knowing there's a $400 stop loss, roughly. And I'll never let it go all the way back,
AYI.
but the idea is that I don't I don't have that 1 to 3 ratio or anything like that. It's almost 1 to 1. I can either make 400 or lose 400, and just knowing that my win success rate when it comes to counter trends is about 90%. Um, I can afford to lose more than I win because it's the war, not the battle, right? Okay, hope that makes sense. Hey, what's going on, Reese? Yeah, it's been a while. Happy New Year's. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to add me on Facebook. You can talk to me there. I'm more available there than I am on Skype. Skype just became a mess. Let me just show you real quick. This is me right here, and my wife and my company, or my dog training business, Citizen Canine. Um, I don't really post anything stock related because money and dogs don't really mix well. Neither does arm wrestling. So I try to keep everything separate. So more or less, yeah, just get on Facebook if you have one, and just you can message me with a question. I can answer you from there, or I could just see you live. Now, yesterday on the live trading, I believe his name was Turf, or his avatar Turf. He on newbie trading. He told me that I have roughly a little over 20 seconds of lag on YouTube streaming. So if you want to see my entries and exits, in this case I didn't because I just got on, but I would just put it on the general chat on newbie trading on this Discord app. So if you're wondering how to do this, just go to Discord, just search up Discord, and there's this text chat for gamers. In this case, we're using it for trading. and then you open it, you create an account, I think, and then you look up J Newbie Trader. And if you click on that, oh, I'm sorry, J Newbie Trading, that is that, there it is, and you'll basically be part of it. His name is Jeremy Newby. He has roughly the very almost exactly the same uh, trading strategy I do. So we share ideas. There's quite a few people on there that have some good ideas that's not going to be on my trade idea scanner. Especially some of them do swing trading. Let's see. Looks like I could have made a lot more on this one, but you know, look away. The market has a way of making you feel like a loser even though you're green. I'm probably going to do one more and then I have to head out. But kind of feel like when I'm on for an hour and a half, I just get long-winded. So I feel like almost as if there's no real reason for me to get online in the very beginning when the market opens because I don't quite, I'm not, first off, I don't like waking up that early and I rarely do gap trades or morning movement, even though there's a lot of money to be made there. It just, to me, regardless of how initiated I am in the world of stock trading, it's stressful. Just trying to get things moving right on your first cup of coffee. This AYI is just ridiculous. Um, I don't know what to do with that. And it keeps, the reason I wouldn't do AYI here, even though it's on my scanner, is that it keeps resetting itself with green candles, little green candles on the 15-minute chart. So this is, yeah, I should do this more often. Um, if you have my scanners and you have trade ideas, by the way, if you want trade ideas, be sure to use the link in the description. I'm going to probably put edit later, so you can get 15% off. But and then go ahead and ask me for the scanner. And from there, the scanners are really good. The very first thing you should be able to do is find the right stocks to trade. And if you're just using a high-low ticker, things can get, you can either overtrade or get overwhelmed. So I like to stick to my scanners so I know exactly what I'm doing and don't overtrade because I have a tendency to get that adrenaline going and just start trading pretty heavily. Maybe three trades sometimes, and I don't want to do that, especially when I'm just getting back on the bicycle while I'm streaming. Yeah, I don't like this one. But yeah, I'm looking at the counter trends right here, this chart specifically, and then I have a counter trend number two that's modified to be a little bit more generalized, just in case something fell out of the parameters. And then I have a small cap one right here. If I feel like I just want to be cheap and trade something really small.
MDP.
In case you're wondering, guys, even though I am affiliated with Trade Ideas, does not mean that I'm selling out. I truly believe Trade Ideas is the way to go. I've used TC 2000, which was my go-to for over a decade with my father for swing trading. It's good for swing trading, but day trading, I like this lady telling me exactly what's going on. Um, and just to prove my point, if you do buy trade ideas and use that 15% off, contact me on Facebook or email me, and I'll Venmo whatever 15% is back to you after it shows proof of that you used my affiliate. Otherwise, I'd just be giving away free money. Uh, Reese asks, do you still execute through Lightspeed? Yes, I do. I do. But I have, I used to, NDP again. I used to use TradeNet just to prove a point, and I closed that account and I reopened it, or I'm in discussion of reopening it. But yeah, while I've been offline, or yeah, while I've been off YouTube, I've been on my Lightspeed. That thing is just getting better and better. But just to get my feet wet, I'm not going to show my Lightspeed account because I've actually had a friend have their account hacked, which is I don't even know how that's possible, but it got hacked, and maybe because he was streaming
MVP.
and showed his account number. I don't
MAXR.
know. But what I'm doing right now is just showing you guys what I would be trading and off of my Thinkorswim, and I use Thinkorswim for 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 studies and for Benzinga, and then I'll trade with my Lightspeed. So this computer is getting loaded up with. A good thing I have some good memory on this computer, even though it's a dinosaur. It crashed on me a few times as well, so
CARG.
I'm not I'm not trading as heavily as I want to. Where can I? What's going on, JPXIP? Um, where can I start learning to be a trader? Oh, well, the first thing you probably want to do is check out Steve Nison's candlestick course. There's a book, and you can find Steve Nison on YouTube, I think. That's only if you want to get, if you don't have a full grasp of how to read a, um,
Check out this.
if you, don't have a full grasp on how to read how to read charts. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, right here. If I just search on YouTube Steve Nison, and they'll talk about forex but the secrets of becoming a samurai trader. Um, but basically, what you want, here you go, talking candlestick with Steve Nison. This is probably one of them. But of course, in YouTube algorithms, just find the one that has the most views. That's probably going to be explains the value of candlestick charts. There you go. This one right here. Steve Nison explains the value of a candlestick chart. You can hear my cat talking. He's hungry. He's hungry every hour. But get on that. This one's really short though. I would probably watch the longer one, just because you're not getting every bit of that candlestick course. But yeah, Steve Nison. Okay, yeah, sure. Oops. I did something there. I just lost my message. I just lost the area where I can type. But yeah, check out Steve Nison. I'll leave it right here for you. And either read the book, but if you are good at reading candlesticks, and like if you understand what the highs, lows, and the entries and exits are on the candlestick, and green, red, obviously, then from there,
NTAP.
you can be visually learning through us, or you could, yeah, honestly, that's the best way just following somebody, because
MAXR.
if you read those books, they're so technical. It's almost as if they want you to fail. I've read many books my dad made me read, and it makes you feel smart, but it doesn't teach you how to trade. What teaches you how to trade is just by being able to keep looking at charts. So here's what I do. Whenever I see something that I really like, I have a folder of charts that I just take a picture of that just shows me what I want to see, like the perfect storm, right? I'll show you once I'm able to get the picture loaded. Here's one right here. Hold on one second. There's a lot of, I think the market's going down a bit, so everything's going down, or everything's showing some movement here. One second. I'm talking about Roku right now on Discord. Oh. Oh, that's beautiful.
MAXR.
Okay, one second. Okay, so I'm getting a little excited looking at Roku because of the way it's shaped. You see that exponential movement downwards. It's tanking. Now we got to figure out where it's going to stop. I guess this is what we would call falling knife, a little bit. Not very much. It's not that bad. It's going down to here.
NTAP.
So one sec until I try to figure out how to type in my stuff for you.
MAXR.
I'll get to your question about how to become a better trader. One second. Come on, hold on one second. Let's go to it. All right. I'm just going to answer. Okay, I'm reading straight off YouTube now, so I can see this. Yeah, Reese, TradeNet's not a bad thing. I believe there's a pretty popular trader out there that talks a lot. That was a lot of people informed me that he was a while back. He was talking about how TradeNet's a Ponzi scheme or something. Harsh words. Um, Whenever they asked me to talk about TradeNet, they they wanted me to be sure not to say that it was a trading platform. It's an education course, but you are able to make money off of it. So that's how they're able to get around things. Kind of shouldn't say that, but this is the truth. But it works. I mean, it's fast too. Um, there are some things about it that people are wearisome about, but quite frankly, trading platforms all are kind of sketchy. I mean, the fact that you have to pay commissions to begin with, you already gave them your money and yet you still have to pay commissions. That's stupid. But that's just how things are. You can't fight how things are, right? Yet he was attacking TradeNet for being the way it is. So, okay, next question. Let's see. Where can I get the scanner? Yeah, just contact me on Facebook. I can probably figure out a way to send it to you via cloud or send you the the link to. I think what I used to do was Skype. Man, that's my Skype is such a mess. Hopefully, if you try to contact me through Skype, I have to go through all the clutter. So try Facebook. Look me up, Albert Ding. Um, am I willing to open forum? I don't think I need to because newbie trading is doing really well. He does exactly the same thing I do practically, so I'm just going to let him do his thing. In fact, and he makes me look good because he trades with larger shares. So if you go on his Instagram, you can see um, how much money he's making. But bear in mind, it has everything to do with um, the amount of shares he uses. I mean, you can make a lot of money off 10 shares if you throw on, I mean, off, you know, a cheap stock using a lot of shares. And he's hitting the numbers. A lot of people ask, is he even showing his? He is showing some of his greens, maybe having reds, but maybe he's not showing some of the reds. Personally, if I'm having an off day and um, I I I may not show my red days, but then again, if you followed me in the previous 2 months, I'm not previous 2 months, but on my YouTube channel, and you saw the 2 months collection, I rarely skipped a single day. So you would see that I am over 90% green, and so is he. Um, his numbers are big. It's scary big. A lot of it, not a lot of it, but some of it is due to swing trading. But here's what I'm talking about. It was one of my both. JPXIP asked how to learn to become a better trader, and once you see what you want to see like this, here's the chart right
Light.
here. I collect the charts. You can see like the ramp up, which is scary, and you see all that volume and it's ramping up, and you know it's gonna, and it tested at 25. See how it went past 25 and it tried to scare you off, and it went back up, and then you saw the volume climb and climb, and it hit a huge drop right there. That's where all the money's at, you know. Here's another one that's beautiful. And this is, if you look at this isn't at the end of the day like some things happen. This happened around 11, where people may actually go to lunch. So there was some news. There's obviously a news play, but when you see all those green candles and it flies straight up, if you watch my counter trend strategy video about the bird flying straight up, the peregrine falcon, it's going to dive eventually, and you can use other studies to measure where it's going to dive too. But you know, a 9 EMA, the VWAP, or the Fibonacci retracement is always good. I know I'm talking real fast for some of y'all, but the whole idea is the first thing you need to be able to do is find what a sexy chart is to you. And to me, in counter trend, these are perfect charts. The way it just moves straight up and dives right down. So obviously, all these pictures are shorts, right? I even have it labeled as perfect shorts. But this reminds me of what I'm looking for. So if I'm ever like having an off day, I look at these charts and so it can remind me this one's not exactly that perfect, but you get the idea. Yeah, Reese was saying that good group of people. They have their own chat room too, TradeNet. Um, they'll give you a manager or someone that monitor you, and they're always telling me that I'm doing it all wrong because I'm counter trend, but they can't deny the fact that I'm still making money. So they kind of just let me go. But in the beginning, if you're counter trend trading and you're not doing what they're doing, like which is continuations, early in the morning, then they may call you out, but as long as you're green, they're happy because they're making money too. They get a percentage off of. That's how they make money. They make a percentage off of your winnings. Okay. All right. Let me see if there's anything else. Any other questions, guys? Um, okay, good. Roku looked like it did. Oh, look at Roku. That was beautiful. All right, so I missed that talk while I was talking, but it's whatever. And this was a big mover here. But so first things, let me just take a good look at this chart here, show you what I see. This is the daily on Roku. You can pretty much draw a line right here where it stopped and retraced, right here at this point right here. Let me just get closer. So it went down to here, and you can kind of draw a sketchy line. I probably, yeah, you could tell it touched here and went a little bit further. It didn't quite make it all the way down to here, but it did get to here. But you guys see how you can create trend lines using the wicks of some candles in the daily? So we knew it was getting to a point, either here or further down. So if you tried retracing here, you've lost because, or you probably had to get out a bit and add some just to average down. And then I'll look at the 15, which looked really good because of all these reds, and then the reset, and then it got exponential. You can see the ramp up in volume and how quickly it started diving down. That's how you know it's going to start moving. Here's the 5 minute, so I get closer and closer. I start looking closer and closer. It went down, and it went down to 131.24. And then when you're about to trade, I go and look in a minute because you need to get fast. And here's the spike in volume right there as it went down. Now you don't really know when it's going to retrace, but when it moves fast, you probably want to enter when it passes up the previous green candle, or try to enter, in my opinion, probably sooner than that, and then see what happens. But you see how it tries to fake you out right here with the red candle, and then it pops back up. So you have to be resilient. This one was not exactly an easy trade because, especially if you didn't manage your how much shares you had in because of the size of it, right? So again, try to help out that previous question I had yesterday on Facebook. You need to know your stops. So if it was at 131, and say you had like and then it moves up. Say you enter at 131.50 and the low was 131, just to make the math easy, right? So 50 cents. If you're willing to lose $50, you can't put more than 100 shares, according to the chart, according to this chart right here. Or you can use average true range, but according to this chart, let me just try to get, okay. If you want 10 cents, if you're willing to lose 10 cents, and I mean, if you're willing to lose $50, you can't use more than 50 shares. Where the hell am I? Oh, 500 shares, sorry. No, I'm talking about, I'm so lost right now. It was $1 or 50 cents right here. 50 cents right here. 100 shares. So if you're willing to lose $200, you can probably go up to 400 shares. And that's pretty much how I do it. So in this case, if you entered right here, that'll be 131.69. So very quickly, that's about what, 40 cents. Let's just call it, yeah, it's basically 50 cents. So put in 200 shares and you could possibly lose $100 if you enter here. But then if you get out where it's at right now, then you're almost $1 away. So that's pretty nice, right? All right, take care, Reese. All right, so right now it is what, 12? If you're wondering where the clicking is from my clock and the videos, it's gone. It finally died. Actually, it's not dead. It's down here. It's still clicking away, but it's slow, regardless if I change the batteries. So I'll probably just throw this away. But yeah, this is like, you know, the new generation. When I was a math teacher and I had this clock, uh, the students would stare at it, and I taught 10th grade and 12th grade. The students would always stare at it and try to figure out what time it is. I I don't understand. I mean, I can I have a very good relationship with my students, but I just can't understand the generation when they can't read an analog clock and they actually have to do the math just to figure out what time it is. It's crazy. All right, so I'm done talking today, guys. I just made enough for today. Um, I don't like to share how much money I make because it's not about money. It's about how you execute the trades. And the more you concentrate on that money, I guarantee you're going to fail. It's always been that way, at least for me. Um, if you know my history, when I traded in high school, when money meant nothing, and I was dependent under my father, my mother, and I just took my father's account and started trading, and it was easy because it was just a game. I can lose 200, it's just minus 200 points. I can make 1,000 plus 1,000 points, and I still think of it that way. Once I got married, it got really hard. I mean, I used to have panic attacks, and I still do. I mean, it's probably a hormonal thing, but the whole idea, what I'm trying to get at is life gets harder as we get older, right? It just sucks that way. We have more things to worry about, and money is one of those things. And when people go into trading, we have a mindset that you're going to make this much money. I mean, that's all you see on YouTube ads. If you join me, you can make a lot of money. You could live a life of luxury, right? Well, the real trader, well, I don't say a real trader, but all the traders I know, um, we're really just a bunch of crazy people just trying to figure out how to win this game. That's pretty much it. And in order to make it a game, you can't think of money. And that is probably the only thing similar to gambling trading is. I don't like to consider it gambling because it's not. But a good gambler, I would assume, doesn't think about the money. And that's the same way. So once you start thinking, I made $100, then tomorrow I can lose $100, then you're already not in the right mind frame when it comes to trading. Even though that technically is true, isn't it? Yeah, light does look good. Oh, light was good. 12:53. Oh yeah, I'm 7 minutes late. If you guys are wondering if I'm talking to myself, I'm reading the Discord on newbie trading, where a newbie trader just said light looks good, and I'm just talking my head off, and I missed it. Not that I probably traded. It would probably been good down here, but you see that volume as it went down, and then it started coming back up. It's the same thing over and over again when it comes to counter trends, and that's why I think it's so much easier than trying to trade in the morning. I mean, for one, I'm not awake, and you have to be fortified. You have to be able to handle that movement. With this, it's a slow movement. You're just waiting for it to go all the way down, wait for the abnormal volume, and then it starts climbing it back up. It's not gambling. It's almost textbook. It's just all about how to enter correctly. All right. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Because I gotta head out. I got a dog to train, and if you have any questions, yeah, try to find me on Facebook if you can. That's cleaner. For me, it's cleaner because I didn't let it go and just get swamped. So you can find me here. I think there's actually like 4 Alberts out there. That's crazy. Albert Dings. Ding is not a very common surname. Oops. Here it is right here. That's me and my wife, and the dog, some of the dogs. Just message me there, and I'll try to get to you. If you're interested in the Trade ID scanner, let me know, and I'll try to get to you as well. So, yeah, trying to get on my Skype. The only person that I actually respond on Skype is my sister, because that's the only way I can respond to her. But yeah, I digress. This I don't like videos so lengthy, and streaming ends up being so lengthy. It gets annoying. So take care, guys. I'll probably be around tomorrow, I think. But it's always a pleasure. I'll see you next time. Bye.